You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
Most security conferences talk about Zero Trust. Zero Trust World puts you inside. This is a hands-on cybersecurity event designed for practitioners who want real skills, not just theory. You'll take part in live hacking labs where you'll attack real environments, see how modern threats actually work, and learn how to stop them before they turn into incidents. But Zero Trust World is more than labs. You'll also experience expert-led sessions, practical case studies, and technical deep dives focused on real-world implementation. Whether you're blue team, red team, or responsible for securing an entire organization, the content is built to be immediately useful. You'll earn CPE credits, connect with peers across the industry, and leave with strategies you can put into action right away. Join us March 4th through the 6th in Orlando, Florida. Register now at ztw.com and take your Zero Trust strategy from theory to execution. Poland says weak security left parts of its power grid exposed. A Russian-linked hacker alliance threatens Denmark with a promised cyber offensive. Fancy Bear moves fast on a new Microsoft Office flaw hitting Ukrainian and EU targets. Researchers find a sprawling supply chain attack buried in the ClawdBot AI ecosystem. A new report looks at how threats are shaping the work of journalists and security researchers. A stealthy Windows malware campaign blends Pulsar RAT with Stealer V37. A former Google engineer is convicted of stealing AI trade secrets for China. We've got the latest cybersecurity funding and deal news. On our afternoon Cyber Tea segment, Microsoft's Ann Johnson chats with Dr. Lorrie Cranor from Carnegie Mellon about security design. And the AI dinosaur that knew too much. It's Monday, February 2nd, 2026. I'm Dave Bittner, and this is your CyberWire Intel Briefing. Thanks for joining us here today. It's great, as always, to have you with us. A Polish government report says Russian state-linked hackers breached parts of Poland's energy infrastructure by exploiting basic security failures, including default usernames, passwords, and the absence of multi-factor authentication. Poland's Computer Emergency Response Team, part of the Ministry of Digital Affairs, detailed intrusions late last year affecting wind farms, solar farms, and heat and power plant. The attackers attempted to deploy destructive wiper malware designed to erase systems and potentially disrupt operations. While the malware was stopped at the heat and power plant, monitoring and control systems at the wind and solar sites were rendered inoperable. Despite the damage, no power outages occurred, and officials said grid stability was never at risk. Earlier reporting by cybersecurity firms linked the incident to sandworm, but Poland's CERT attributed the attack to the Russian group Berserk Bear, also known as Dragonfly. Security firm TrueSec reports that a newly formed Russian hacker alliance calling itself the Russian Legion has threatened Denmark with a large-scale cyber attack dubbed Op Denmark. The group, announced on January 27th, is led by an assortment of hackers who recently carried out a distributed denial-of-service attack against a Danish public service site. The hackers issued an ultimatum on Telegram demanding Denmark withdraw a planned 1.5 billion DKK military aid package to Ukraine, warning that DDoS attacks were only the beginning. Since then, they've claimed responsibility for multiple DDoS attacks, including against energy sector organizations. TrueSec assesses the group as likely state-aligned but not state-funded, and notes that such campaigns often rely on intimidation and disruption rather than escalating to severe cyber damage. Ukrainian cyber authorities warn that the Russian-linked hacking group Fancy Bear, also known as APT28, is exploiting a recently disclosed Microsoft Office vulnerability to target Ukrainian and European Union organizations. Ukraine's National Computer Emergency Response Team, CERT-UA, reported finding malicious Word documents abusing a high-severity flaw disclosed by Microsoft on January 26. According to CERT-UA, the vulnerability was exploited in the wild before many users had applied updates. The attack chain involved phishing emails with weaponized documents that triggered external connections, downloaded malicious files, and ultimately deployed the Covenant command and control framework using COM hijacking techniques. Microsoft confirmed active exploitation and urged users to apply updates or restart Office applications. CERT-UA warned that attacks are likely to increase due to patching delays and identified additional EU-focused documents using the same exploit. The maintainer of Notepad++ says a months-long security incident stemmed from a compromise at its former shared hosting provider, not from vulnerabilities in Notepad++ code itself. According to investigators, attackers intercepted and selectively redirected update traffic for certain users to malicious servers by abusing compromised hostile infrastructure and stolen internal credentials. The activity likely began in June of last year and continued in limited form until early December. Multiple researchers assessed the attacker as likely a Chinese state-sponsored group, citing the highly targeted nature of the campaign. The hosting provider says access to the server ended in September, but leaked credentials allowed traffic manipulation until December. In response, Notepad++ migrated to a new host and strengthened update verification, adding certificate, signature, and XML signing checks. Users are urged to update manually to the latest version. Researchers have uncovered a large-scale supply chain attack abusing the ClawdBot AI assistant ecosystem, recently renamed Moltbot, where more than 230 malicious skills were published to the official ClawHub registry and GitHub between late January and early February of this year. The skills masqueraded as cryptocurrency trading and automation tools, but relied on social engineering to trick users into running malicious commands or downloading fake authentication tools. Once executed, the malware targeted both macOS and Windows systems, stealing cryptocurrency wallet data, exchange API keys, browser passwords, SSH credentials, and cloud secrets. All malicious skills shared the same command and control infrastructure and showed no evidence of security review before publication. Despite reports to maintainers, most skills reportedly remain online, highlighting serious security gaps in emerging AI skills marketplaces and the growing risk of trust-based supply chain attacks. A newly published report by a researcher who goes by the name Descent Doe and journalist Zach Whitaker examines how legal and criminal threats affect security researchers and journalists. In a pilot survey of 112 respondents, 77% said they have been threatened due to their work, while 23% reported no threats. About half reported at least one legal threat, and 69% they or their employer faced legal action or legal process, often via emails or demand letters. Most consulted a lawyer, and 63% did not retract or change their work. Criminal threats were reported by 39 of 86 respondents, with journalists more likely than researchers to face them. Many threats included violence, but few were deemed credible, and only 41% contacted law enforcement. Still, 44% said fear of threats shaped their choices, showing a chilling effect even when work continued. Researchers at Point Wild warn of a new Windows malware campaign combining the Pulsar RAT with Stealer V37, designed to steal credentials, cryptocurrency, and gaming accounts. The malware runs entirely in memory, using built-in Windows tools to evade detection and injecting itself into trusted processes. Unusually, attackers can interact with victims through a live chat window while stealing data. The tools enable webcam and microphone access, password theft, clipboard hacking, and broad data harvesting. Stolen information is exfiltrated via Discord and Telegram, highlighting a highly interactive and evasive threat. A U.S. federal jury has convicted Linwei Ding, a former Google software engineer, of stealing sensitive AI supercomputing trade secrets and sharing them with Chinese technology firms. Prosecutors said Ding exfiltrated more than 2,000 pages of confidential data between 2022 and 2023, including details on Google's AI infrastructure, custom chips, and large-scale orchestration systems. While employed at Google, Ding allegedly maintained undisclosed ties to China-based companies, negotiated a CTO role, and later founded his own AI firm in China. Evidence showed he sought to support China's technological ambitions and applied to a government-backed talent program. Ding also concealed his activities from Google, including his travel to China. After an 11-day trial, he was convicted on multiple counts of economic espionage and trade secret theft, with sentencing pending. Looking back at last week for our business breakdown, cybersecurity funding and deal activity remained strong, with a mix of large late-stage rounds, early-stage raises, and consolidation across multiple regions. Upwind led the week with a $250 million Series B to expand its cloud security platform across data, AI, and code. Clarity followed with $150 million in new funding, plus $50 million in secondary financing to accelerate global growth in cyber-physical systems security. Mid-stage and seed rounds supported firms tackling fraud prevention, AI code security, SOC automation, remote access, remediation, and application security, reflecting continued investor interest in operational security and developer-focused tools. Funding ranged from $37 million Series A rounds to sub-$1 million pre-seed investments. M&A activity also remained active, with acquisitions spanning AI governance, GRC, API security testing, and managed services, underscoring ongoing platform expansion and market consolidation as vendors seek broader integrated security offerings. We have all the details in our weekly business brief, part of CyberWire Pro. You can learn more about that on our website. Coming up after the break, Microsoft's Ann Johnson and Carnegie Mellon's Dr. Lorrie Cranor discuss security design and the AI dinosaur that knew too much. Stay with us. Ever wished you could rebuild your network from scratch to make it more secure, scalable, and simple? Meet Meter, the company reimagining enterprise networking from the ground up. Meter builds full-stack, zero-trust networks, including hardware, firmware, and software, all designed to work seamlessly together. The result? Fast, reliable, and secure connectivity without the constant patching, vendor juggling, or hidden costs. From wired and wireless to routing, switching, firewalls, DNS security, and VPN, every layer is integrated and continuously protected in one unified platform. And since it's delivered as one predictable monthly service, you skip the heavy capital costs and endless upgrade cycles. Meter even buys back your old infrastructure to make switching effortless. Transform complexity into simplicity and give your team time to focus on what really matters, helping your business and customers thrive. Learn more and book your demo at meter.com/cyberwire. That's meter.com/cyberwire. If securing your network feels harder than it should be, you're not imagining it. Modern businesses need strong protection, but they don't always have the time, staff, or patience for complex setups. That's where NordLayer comes in. NordLayer is a toggle-ready network security platform built for businesses. It brings VPN, access control, and threat protection together in one place. No hardware, no complicated configuration. You can deploy it in minutes and be up and running in less than 10. It's built on zero-trust principles, so only the right people can get access to the right resources. It works across all major platforms, scales easily as your teams grow, and integrates with what you already use. And now, NordLayer goes even further through its partnership with CrowdStrike, combining NordLayer's network security with Falcon endpoint protection for small and mid-sized businesses. Enterprise-grade security made manageable. Try NordLayer risk-free and get up to 22% off yearly plans, plus an extra 10% with the code CYBERWIRE10. Visit nordlayer.com/cyberwiredaily to learn more. On today's segment from the Afternoon Cyber Tea podcast, Microsoft's Ann Johnson is joined by Dr. Lorrie Cranor, director of the Scilab Security and Privacy Institute at Carnegie Mellon University. They're discussing ongoing challenges with passwords and passwordless authentication and how privacy expectations have evolved in an era of constant data collection.
I think in practice, when people are designing security tools, they're focused on security, and they often don't take the time to think about the users and how the tool would fit into their workflow. And often the security experts behind the tools are not actually usability or human factors experts. And so without the security people working in partnership with usability people, we often forget to consider the human and the user. We haven't really found a great solution that is better than passwords, that meets all the criteria that we have. I think, we want something that is going to be more secure than passwords, easier to use, compatible with a wide range of different devices, and also, by the way, compatible with all sorts of legacy software. And it's really hard to find something that meets all of that criteria. I think in some specific domains, we've been successful. So I think in the context of mobile phones, the biometrics that are used on a lot of mobile phones, either face recognition or a fingerprint, are effective in that context. But it's not effective in contexts that don't have a camera or a fingerprint reader, and it may not be secure enough for a lot of contexts.
As a cyber professional and also a consumer, I often think about what the user experience is because I look at it and say, okay, if this is complex for me, who ostensibly has been doing this a long time, what's it like for the average person? So do you really think passkeys are the things that are going to remove the friction?
Not anytime soon. I think the concept behind passkeys is good, but they're confusing. And yeah, I also am confused by them. If I accept the passkey here and then I want to access this account from another device, what do I do? And I often, in the passkey process, get confused about where I am and don't know whether it's succeeded or what's going on. And so, when my less technically sophisticated friends say, should I use passkeys? I don't really know what to tell them. Yes, in theory, they're more secure and it will eventually be easier. But, if you run into problems, I'm not going to be able to help you.
Now that we are in an era where we have pervasive data collection, we have AI-driven systems, we have people voluntarily putting all of their information out on social media for the world to see. How do you think about privacy?
Yeah, so I've been doing privacy research for about 25 years, and I think people's attitudes have shifted some, but not in the way that it's often characterized. Like I often hear the media say things like, young people don't care about privacy anymore. Actually, nobody cares about privacy. Look at all the data they give away. And I don't really think that's true. So when I started doing research in this area, when you talk to people about various technologies that were invading their privacy, they actually were quite surprised. Sometimes they didn't believe that these things were real. I remember talking to people about third-party advertising on the web, and people said, really, they can do that? That sounds like science fiction. And, they definitely didn't like it once they heard about it. They said, it sounds like they're following me behind my back. This is terrible. Are you sure this is really happening? Right? Today, you talk to people about these sorts of things and even new things that are just barely happening, and people are not surprised. They're like, yeah, I know. Everybody can spy on you all the time, and there's nothing you can do about it. They don't like it, right? They still would like to protect their privacy, but they feel powerless to do anything about it. And many of them will say, well, I've really just given up. I like the convenience of using all these privacy invasive services. And since there's nothing I can do about it, I've just given in and I use them.
What gives you hope that we can finally bridge the usability gap in cybersecurity?
Well, we have actually seen progress. When I started working in this area about 25 years ago, there, first of all, was very little research. I started looking for usable security papers, and there were like 2 or 3 out there. And I started looking for usable security researchers, and I found a dozen or so people. And I looked at, well, what companies were actually thinking about this, and there were very few. And I think today, well, there are thousands of usable security research papers and at least hundreds, if not thousands, of usable security researchers. And we're seeing that companies are increasingly trying to make some efforts to find more usable security solutions. There's still a lot of work to be done, but I feel that we actually have made progress. And things like the encrypted web browsers is a good example of how far we've come.
Be sure to check out the complete Afternoon Cyber Tea podcast wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
The world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
And finally, picture a brightly colored, internet-connected dinosaur plush, marketed as a friendly AI companion that chats with toddlers, learns their preferences, and promises safe, wholesome conversations. Now, picture that dinosaur quietly dumping its entire memory onto the open web. Security researchers Joseph Thacker and Joel Margolis found that Bondu's AI dinosaur toys exposed more than 50,000 private chat logs to anyone with a Gmail account. No hacking required. Just log in and read children's names, birthdays, family details, and every whispered fear or favorite snack shared with a stuffed animal. Thacker stumbled on the flaw within minutes after a neighbor asked if the toy was safe. Bondu took the console offline quickly and said there's no evidence others accessed the data, but the damage was already clear. The company worked hard to stop the dinosaur from saying anything inappropriate, even offering a bounty for bad responses while leaving the entire conversation database wide open. The takeaway is uncomfortable. An AI toy that remembers everything also exposes everything, and toddlers shouldn't need operational security training to play with a plush dinosaur. And that's the Cyberwire. For links to all of today's stories, check out our daily briefing at thecyberwire.com. Don't forget to check out the Grumpy Old Geeks podcast, where I contribute to a regular segment on Jason and Brian's show every week. You can find Grumpy Old Geeks where all the fine podcasts are listed. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing world of cybersecurity. If you like our show, please share a rating and review in your favorite podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to cyberwire@n2k.com. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our Cyberwire producer is Liz Stokes. We're mixed by Trey Hester with original music by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Eiben. Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I'm Dave Bittner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here tomorrow. If you only attend one cybersecurity conference this year, make it RSAC 2026. It's happening March 23rd through the 26th in San Francisco, bringing together the global security community for 4 days of expert insights, hands-on learning, and real innovation. I'll say this plainly, I never miss this conference. The ideas and conversations stay with me all year. Join thousands of practitioners and leaders tackling today's toughest challenges and shaping what comes next. Register today at rsaconference.com/cyberwire26. I'll see you in San Francisco.
Reggie, I just sold my car online.
Let's go, Grandpa. Wait, you did?
Yep, on Carvana. Just put in the license plate, answered a few questions, got an offer in minutes. Easier than setting up that new digital picture frame.
You don't say.
Yeah, they're even picking it up tomorrow. Talk about fast.
Wow, way to go. So, about that picture frame.
Forget about it. Until Carvana makes one, I'm not interested.
Car selling made easy. On Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.